Good morning. Welcome to game two of the Great Salt Quake. We have the Killer Bees in white going up against the Cherry Bombs in black. Now both teams are getting checked out by our officiating crew. All right, now I'll run down the rosters of our teams. First, the Killer Bees in white. Number 3, Rumble Guppy. Number 10, Ruby Roundhouse. 106, Ferdinand. Number 13, Fallon Melon. 14, Slamby. 187, Belle of the Brawl. Number 2, Night Terror. 2010, Princess Leia. 312, Slimy Booger. Number 34, The Postman. 404, Fatal Air. Number 22, Bad Dadditude. Number 68, Graycon the Destroyer. 711, Just Kevin. And 911, Chaos. And in black, the Cherry Bombs. Number 12, Teen Wolf. 13, Barbecue. Number 17, Sugar Crush. 255, Giblets. Number 27, Avalanche. Number 28, Snowplow. 379, Zombie Brains. 41, Ruby Gloom. Number 52, Firecracker. Number 77, Bunny Rabbit. And 913, Braceface. Our officiating crew for this game is going to be Fighting Girlfriend, You Know I Know You Know, Bonnie, Flyboy, Sarengaffs, Buck and Nobby, D-Rex, and Data. Our non-skating officials on this game are Romp, Punky Bruiser, Megabeth, Dino, Roller Ray, Blitz and Vixen, Eris, Mr. Nitro, and Joysticks. I'm Merciful Skate. I'll be announcing this and many games throughout this tournament. Before we get going here, I'd like to thank our sponsors, the Pie Pizzeria, a longtime sponsor of Wasatch Roller Derby, Wasatch Juniors. They've been voted Utah's best pizza. Over 40 years providing top quality handmade pizza, salads, and subs. 187 Killer Pads, the Derby Warehouse, and Dick's Sporting Goods, who recently gave a $13,000 donation to our Wasatch Junior Roller Derby team. So big thank you to Dick's Sporting Goods. All right, teams are bringing out their skaters. Cherry Bombs. Number 12 going to be starting off. That is Teen Wolf as the jammer, going up against 404 Fatal Air, the Killer Bees. Ref crew getting everything settled out before going. I'd like to thank all the volunteers for making this happen at the Great Salt Quake. A lot of people throughout the Wasatch Junior Roller Derby and our Salt Lake Roller Derby family contributing to this. We have our rolling whistle. We are about to be underway in our first jam. Once again, it is Teen Wolf going up against Fatal Air. Fatal Air in the white. Both jammers take to the inside. We do have a lead given to Teen Wolf, number 12 in black. That is the Cherry Bombs. Now swinging around for that scoring pass. Round turn number 2. Fatal Air is through the pack. Through for 4 is Teen Wolf and calls that one off. We have our first jam completed, 4-0, the Cherry Bombs. Now Graycon the Destroyer out there for the Killer Bees. No, I'm sorry, is Fatal Air still with the Jam Star for the Killer Bees. They are up against number 27, Avalanche. The Cherry Bombs. So Fatal Air going back and forth. Good lateral movement, trying to bust their way through. It does get through, it does take lead. Avalanche are on turn number 1, taken out. That was Ferdinand of the Killer Bees with a big hit on Avalanche. Apex jump is Fatal Air through for 4. Coming around, another scoring pass. Both teams raid around that turn number 1 and 2. Avalanche still trying to find a way through that pack. Meanwhile, it is 4 more points for Fatal Air. Avalanche, star in hand, now is through. 4 more points put up by Fatal Air. And you call that one off. So big jam, 12-0 jam for the Killer Bees. Now it is Graycon the Destroyer, number 68 in white, going up against Braceface. Cherry Bombs right up at that jam line, just a little bit in front of them are the Killer Bee defenders. Off Graycon, quick feet on through for lead. Now on their scoring run, goes to the inside, knocked out. Brought back is Braceface, still trying to find a way through. Graycon quick moves, a nice stop by Cherry Bomb defender. Can't see the number quite yet. Halted their progress, but it is Graycon through for 4. Braceface, star in hand, trying to find their way through on turn number 2. Graycon scoring pass. Got some points on the board, but is brought back. Going through again to try to clear that pack. We have our first penalty of the game. That will send a Killer Bee defender to the box. And we do have a star pass. That is now number 77 of the Cherry Bombs. Bunny Rabbit as the jammer. And they are through. At our teams take to the track. Right now we have a score of 19-4. Bees have been on a bit of a run here. Cherry Bombs put up those 4 points at the beginning of the first jam here. They've since remained scoreless. However, it is Teen Wolf back out for the Cherry Bombs in black. Going up against just Kevin and White. Have our rolling whistle. We are going to be underway again. Just Kevin moving back and forth. Wolf takes to the outside line, swings to the inside, and is through. Kevin with the star pass, or attempting a star pass, has completed it. Our new jammer, the postman. And it's Teen Wolf for 4. Oh, attempted big jump at turn number 2 by the postman, but is stopped in their tracks. While it is Teen Wolf now on a scoring run. 4 points put up by the Bees. Big stop by Night Terror. Halt that progress of Teen Wolf. It is Teen Wolf on through. Now it is Night Terror going to the box. But meanwhile, it is the postman putting up some points. Barbecue and the firecracker halting them only momentarily, though. Teen Wolf on a run, still going. Followed closely by the postman, though. And Teen Wolf calls that one off, putting up 12 more points for the Cherry Bombs. However, 8 points were put up there by the Beast. Now we have ourselves a 27-16 game. Teen Wolf so far scoring all the points for the Cherry Bombs. Avalanche out there looking to put some points on the board for her team. Going up against Fatal Air. So Bees with an early lead. And it is Fatal Air with some toe stop work on the inside line to get through for lead. Avalanche getting pushed out and recycled by Slimy Booger of the Bees. Penalty box is now clear. Fatal Air scoring some points here. Trying to go around the end, gets through. But right on their feet now is Avalanche. Avalanche getting the star back on their helmet. Fatal Air trying to knock them down, does, and skips through for 4 more points. Avalanche, though, back on their feet and now trying to put some points on the board. Going to be recycled back once again by the pivot of the Killer Bees. Killer Bees on a bit of a run here. 12 points for Fatal Air in this jam. Hard hit by, looks like number 22. Fatal Air tried to good stop by the Cherry Bomb blocker, number 52, but Fatal Air just hard to take off with their feet and is able to push on through. Avalanche having a difficult time against this Killer Bee defense. Getting pushed out continually on that outside right at turn number 3. 24 points for Fatal Air as we wind down. 4 more points brings it to 28, and the jam is over. Big 28-0 by the Killer Bees on that. Bringing it up to 55-20 is our score right now. However, 4 points split up there by Avalanche. So not scoreless. Teen Wolf back out. Against Graycon the Destroyer. Teen Wolf, quick moves. Graycon, great lateral work. We have ourselves a penalty. That'll send a couple player, one each to the box, it looks like, perhaps. Yep. Teen Wolf, though, is our lead jammer. Hard to stop is Teen Wolf. Very quick. Nice moves to get by the last defender of the Bees. Graycon, though, is out for 4. Off to the outside is Teen Wolf. Hit back, hit down hard. Bees got a great defensive line out there. Graycon through for 4 more. Lead jammer is Teen Wolf as Graycon goes around for another scoring pass. Hard hits all around at turn number 3. Graycon has gone through 4. We do have a direction call. That is going to send number 77 of the Cherry Bombs to the box. Bunny Rabbit. Calling off now is Teen Wolf. Tough jam for these players. And it is the Killer Bees coming up a little bit ahead, 13 to 11 on that last jam to extend their lead to 68 to 31. Now we have ourselves a team timeout that is called by the Cherry Bombs. That'll give them 1 minute to talk things out. So we are just past the first 10 minutes of this game, so plenty of game left. A lot of time here for these Cherry Bombs to regroup and take back the lead that they started with that 4-0 run at the very beginning. And we do have a few announcements to make. Fortunately, this will be our last Great Salt Quake that we hold here at the Derby Depot, as we won't be having this place anymore. So if any local people are able to help us find a new home, have any leads on a space which to hold a Salt Lake Roller Derby, adult and junior leagues, contact your local league board on that. All right, we are going to be right back at it. Just Kevin out there for the Bees, going against Braceface of the Cherry Bombs. Again, Bees in white, Cherry Bombs in black. Kevin through for lead. Now Anascorion crashes into the tripod, but is stopped. Looks like we have a high block on Night Terror of the Bees. Braceface trying to get around a tough defensive wall. And Cherry Bomb player will be going to the box just as one of their teammates comes back on the track. Just Kevin, 4 points. Braceface recycled around turn number 1. Just Kevin coming through, sees opening in the inside. Nice jump to take that, 4 points. We have a directional call, sending another Killer Bee defender. Hard, landing hard is Kevin. We'll stop this jam. All right, we will begin this jam. We have some players in the penalty box starting off. Looks like defensively, a 3-on-3. So yes, each team has one player in the penalty box. Team Wolf back out for the bombs up against Fatal Air. Both jammers have proven themselves to be very difficult to stop. Fatal Air to the inside. Is down temporarily, but back up and it has lead. Teen Wolf is now through the pack. That's the pivot for the Cherry Bombs. Goes to the box. Fatal Air shoving their way through for 4. Teen Wolf, good on their wheels. Got a few more points. We will be back at it momentarily here. Very physical game so far. Not even halfway through our first half here. Big thank you to our medical team for helping us out here throughout this entire tournament here, keeping all these kids safe. We'll have our same jammers back out again. Fatal Air up against Teen Wolf. We got 3-on-3 with the defenders. Both teams have one player in the penalty box. All right, rolling whistle gets us started once again. Both teams right up at that jam line. Fatal Air shoves through first, but hot on their heels is Teen Wolf. Quick skip through is Fatal Air, 4 points. Teen Wolf a little hard to stop there. Quick feet they have, and they have 4-on-4. Apex jump for Fatal Air, clears it for 4. Getting the signal to calls that one off. So we have, it appears Teen Wolf may have gotten the 4 points on there before that was called off. It's the correction on that. We do have the 4 points now showing for the Killer Bees. That was a 12-8 run. Fallon Mellon, a new jammer out there for the Killer Bees, number 13 in the white, going up against Avalanche. Avalanche takes to the outside. Fallon Mellon takes a hard hit by Giblets. Avalanche on through for lead. Now On a scoring run is Avalanche, going to the outside. Nice stop by the B defender to get their number here. Quite see it yet. Nice star pass. Now our Killer Bee jammer is number 3. That is Rumble Guppy. Lot of speed. Able to shove on through. And that is 4 points for Rumble Guppy. Avalanche still fighting their way, try to get by, and does. 4 points. Rumble Guppy quick though, very quick moves. Now both jammers on a scoring brass. It is Guppy once again getting through first. We'll have a direction call that will send a B defender to the box. Guppy, though, showing great skill as a jammer. Finally, Avalanche calls that one off. 16 points put up by Rumble Guppy. So really good, nice star pass committed by the Killer Bees that led to a lot of success there. 8 points was put up by Avalanche. Right now we have a 112-49 game. Spraycon the Destroyer goes out there against Braceface. Spraycon to the inside, Braceface to the outside. Sticking to the inside is Graycon, and they get through. They are our lead jammer. All 4 defenders out there for Cherry Bombs. Brought back out. And recycled back is Graycon, but they are right back into scoring position. Braceface was recycled back, and now they have a start in hand, trying to find a way through. They do, going to the outside. Nice moves by Braceface, but that is 4 more points by Graycon. And they call that one off. Minutes left in this half. Fatal Error right back out there against Teen Wolf. Looks like we're going to have another duel between these 2 jammers. Killer Bees will be down a defender at the start of this jam. Fatal Error on through for lead. Coming through for a scoring pass just as Teen Wolf makes it out through the pack. 4 points for Fatal Error. They call that one off before Teen Wolf can score. Now we'll have Bunny Rabbit starting as the jammer for the Cherry Bombs, going up against Just Kevin. They see all our skaters back into this game. Still playing hard. Nice moves by Bunny Rabbit to stay in, but they are bringing outside just as Just Kevin gets through for lead. But no, is a back block against Just Kevin. Let's see, I don't know if the lead is still open or if they gave lead to Kevin before that penalty was called. We will see here. So no, we do have as lead jammer Bunny Rabbit. Slamming into the pack, staying on their feet. 4 points. All right, our penalty box is clear. Bunny Rabbit takes a hard hit. Just Kevin also goes to the ground. Both jammers back up on their feet. And to score is Bunny Rabbit. Evan is now on through as Rabbit calls that one off. It's a 6-4 jam on that last one, and now we have a team timeout called by the Killer Bees. So now both teams have used one of their team timeouts far in this game. Still have 2 more to go. Also have their official reviews available for this half. So we are at 11 minutes and 1 second left to play. Right now it is 124. The Killer Bees up against the Cherry Bombs. They're 55. We got a lot of derby going on this month. We have Wasatch Roller Derby home game, Love Hurts. This will be on Saturday, February 7th. Uinta Roller Derby has a home tournament going on February 20th to the 22nd. And Wasatch Junior Roller Derby and Wasatch Roller Derby having a doubleheader fundraiser to assist with Apollo's medical bills from a torn ACL. And that'll be February 28th. So a whole lot of derby going on the month of February. Of course, this tournament will go on tomorrow as well. And through is Fatal Air for lead. Avalanche pushing through, trying to find a way out. And it looks like we have a star pass to, that is Barbecue. 4 points to Fatal Air. Barbecue scoring some points, trying to get out of that pack. Ferdinand right there to stop him. Hard hits is Fatal Air and gets through for 4 more. Strong skater is Fatal Air. Very difficult to stop. Killer Bee defenders doing a good job of kind of getting front and regrouping Barbecue. Barbecue's gotten some points on them, but there's always a defender right in front of them to stop them from getting free of the pack. But now they are free is Barbecue. Meanwhile, Fatal Air still putting up some points. 16 points right now for Fatal Air. Barbecue, some good moves. Trying to get by the last defender, see if they did before it ended. Yes, they did. 4 more points for Barbecue, so that ends as a 16-8 jam in favor of the Killer Bees, extending their lead to 140 over 63. Now Fallon Allen back out for the Bees against Braceface. The pivot for the Bees will be starting in the penalty box. Bit of an advantage here for the Cherry Bombs at the start. Nice tripod by the Cherry Bombs to hold back Fallon Melon. Meanwhile, Braceface has 2 more to beat up at the pivot line. But it is Fallon Melon who sneaks on through. Night Terror with a nice attempt to knock out Braceface, but doesn't get it. And now scoring are both jammers. A lot of action happening at turn number 1. Braceface going up against Ferdinand and Night Terror. I didn't see if they got some points off that. They did. They got 3 points off that to the 2 that Fallon Melon was able to get. So coming up just 1 point ahead on that jam or the Cherry Bombs. And once again, we have our familiar jammer duel of Fatal Air going up against Teen Wolf. Once again, a B defender will start in the box. Teen Wolf to the outside, but stopped by Night Terror. Fatal Air on through for a lead. Quick on the feet, though, is Teen Wolf. Calling Fatal Air, calling out to their team, telling them what they want to do. Smashes through the line, gets through for 4. So it's Teen Wolf, though. 4-4. Fatal Air slowing down, looking to play some defense. But it is Teen Wolf on through. Fatal Air gets through the pack first, 4 more points. Teen Wolf now clear of the pack. That'll be the pivot of the Killer Bees. I believe Postman going to the penalty box. 4 points put up by Fatal Air, and they call that one off before Teen Wolf can put more points up on the board. But yeah, that is definitely the jammer duel to watch here in this game. Teen Wolf and Fatal Air going back and forth. Now Avalanche out there in black going up against Graycon the Destroyer. Avalanche swings to the inside, but is stopped. Graycon trying to push their way through on the outside, but can't quite get through. And it is Avalanche out first. The Jammer Avalanche for the Cherry Bombs. Graycon free of the pack, just as Avalanche is coming in for a scoring run. This swings to the outside. Stopped nicely by number 312. That is a Slimy Booger with a nice stop against Avalanche. But Avalanche squeaks on by for 4 points. Graycon through for 4. Penalty box is clear now. Avalanche has gotten some points up, but it was pushed out. Graycon is able to get through. Now Slimy Booger goes to the penalty box. Ferdinand with a big hit against Avalanche. Graycon momentarily stopped, recycled back. Now they're back into it. Avalanche gets on through, 4 points. Right now we have an 8-on-8 jam. Nice work by the Cherry Bomb pivot to stop Graycon. Avalanche taken to the outside and calls that one off. Graycon was able to put up 3 more points. Yeah, so it looks like 11-8 is our score on that jam, with the Killer Bees coming up just 3 points ahead. Teen Wolf against Just Kevin. Now it's the Cherry Bombs that will start with the pivot in the box. Teen Wolf, though, with some good lateral movements. And Snowplow brings out Just Kevin, recycles back. Hard hit by Giblets. Bring out just Kevin as Teen Wolf is around our lead jammer. Kevin free of the pack on the scoring run is Teen Wolf. Nice work by Rumble Guppy to recycle Teen Wolf. Just Kevin on through for 4. Teen Wolf out for 4 as well. Attempted apex jump doesn't quite work out for Kevin. They are going to be brought back. Have a penalty that sends the pivot of the Bees to the box. Teen Wolf, 4 points. Kevin, though, shoving the way through for 4. No, they are going to get a track cut call. And so this will be a big opportunity for the Cherry Bombs. Teen Wolf is definitely a jammer that can put up some points for the Cherry Bombs as they put up 4 more. And we are closing down in the final minutes of this half. So this will be a good way for the Cherry Bombs to go through. Wolf through 4-4. Nice spin move to get through the pack. Calls that one off, so this will also give a power start advantage to the Cherry Bombs. As we close into 2 minutes left. Brace face out for the Cherry Bombs. These will start with their pivot and jammer in the penalty box. Meanwhile, everyone out for the Cherry Bombs. The game is on. Whistle is blown. And now the box is clear. Just Kevin back out. Very quick moves. Grabs lead. It's a nice, effective penalty power start kill by the Bees. Just Kevin coming around with a lot of speed and momentum. Does not land the apex jump, though, and will have to be brought back. Brace face up against a tough, tough wall, though. And it is Kevin through for 4 points. Once again, the pivot of the Bees gets to the penalty box. That's 4 more points scored by Kevin. Brace face, a lot of height and size for the Killer Bee defenders that they have to contend against as they are recycled back. Meanwhile, Kevin shoving their way through for 4 more points. No, we do have a penalty that is going to be called on that one. Looks like a low block on Just Kevin. Will he send them into the box? So now we have a power jam advantage. And looks like we do have a star pass as well, as Bunny Rabbit, sorry, is now going to be our jammer for the Cherry Bombs. Just a few seconds left in both the jam and the jam timer and the period time. So we will be ending up close. See what Bunny Rabbit can do with these last few seconds. And that ends the jam right there. Right now we have 177 to 98 as our score. The Killer Bees up on top. Have 15 minutes of intermission. It'll give both these teams some time to regroup. So a lot of hard-hitting action going on in this game so far. So we will be back shortly for the second half of Killer Bees versus the Cherry Bombs. Okay, we are right back at it with the second half of our game. The Killer Bees up against the Cherry Bombs. Right now, the Killer Bees with a lead of 177 to 98. "30 minutes of Derby coming up very shortly. Raycon the Destroyer for the Bees going up against Avalanche for the Cherry Bombs. Both jammers briefly go to the inside, but it is Graycon out first. Trying to shove their way through is Avalanche. Have a direction call, and it sends a Killer Bee defender to the box just as Graycon makes their first scoring run. Brought back by Firecracker. Avalanche now through just as Graycon scores 4 and calls that one off just to begin our second half. All right, Fatal Air out there for the Killer Bees go up against Teen Wolf. So once again, this jammer duel going on. Both teams starting right up at that jam line. It is Fatal Air with some moves to the outside line that gets them through. Teen Wolf with a tough line to contend with, just as Fatal Air comes in for their scoring pass. Rushing through is Fatal Air and gets through for 4. Teen Wolf now free of the pack. Fatal Air looking to play some defense here. Takes out Teen Wolf briefly, stops, brings back. Little bit of jammer on jammer strategy happening now. Teen Wolf now staying put, giving Fatal Air now has to move. Fatal Air with a sprint, gets through for 4. Psychological jammer mind games going on there. And now they are into another scoring pass, smashing into the tripod is Fatal Air. 4 more points for the Killer Bees. Teen Wolf getting some help by Bunny Rabbit. Fatal Air makes it through a apex jump, has to knock one of their players out of the way to make sure they don't fall or slide out of bounds, but that is 4 more points for the Killer Bees. And now we have some penalties being called against the Killer Bees, and they only have 2 defenders out there. That jam is called off. 20 points put up by Fatal Air. So we have ourselves a new jammer for the Killer Bees. That is Chaos, number 911, going up against Braceface. So only 2 defenders out there for the Killer Bees. Some penalty trouble on that last jam. Chaos with some power getting through. Chaos showing some strength as they stay on their feet for 4 points. Coming again, another scoring run. And just not able to get slowed down is Chaos. They crush through, extending that Killer Bee lead. Braceface having a tough time against around turn number 2 against the defenders there, but now we do have a star pass Barbecue is now our jammer for the Cherry Bombs. Yeah, so with an impressive first run, 12 points put up. And now we have Princess Leia, another new jammer for the Killer Bees. Number 2010. Princess Leia going up against Avalanche. Penalty box is clear, so 4-on-4. Avalanche has lead, but Leia is right behind. See what they can do for a scoring run here. Night Terror with a hard hit against Avalanche. Leia stopped, but has a lot of power and is pushing their way through. Avalanche recycled back. And it is Leia that exits the pack. Avalanche has the points on through. Leia slams into that. Let's see, probably a low block call might be assessed here. We'll see. No, it is Night Terror, rather, one of the defenders of the Killer Bees that is going to the penalty box. So the jammer is Princess Leia, still on the track as jammer. Avalanche on through for 4. We do have a direction call. So now some Killer Bees in some penalty trouble once again. Avalanche on through. Leia goes down. Right now, 8-8 jam. Avalanche, nice moves. 1 to beat, stays in, and is through. Nice way to split those defenders by Avalanche, who is our lead jammer. Leia now being held up, and we have some more whistles blown. However, this time it'll be against the Cherry Bombs, as Leia gets through for 4 more points. That ends the jam. Let's see what our final here is. 16-12. Cherry Bombs coming up ahead in that one. Fun one to watch. It just kept on going and going and going. A lot of strength and power shown by both teams. Lost some penalty trouble as both teams starting with 1 defender in the box. Teen Wolf up against the Postman. It is Teen Wolf out first. Postman close behind. So now it is a sprint. Postman slams on through, gets on right through the tripod. Teen Wolf, though, showing some nice quick moves to get through for 4. Cutting to the outside on 1 skate. 4 points, making it look good is the Postman. Once again to the outside. But no, slides out, has to be recycled back. Will get the points, but has to fight through the pack now as Teen Wolf gets through for 4. Postman momentarily slowed down now, but pushing their way through, and they do get all the way through for 4 more points. Teen Wolf, though, hard to stop, but does take a big hit. Postman trying for an apex jump, doesn't clear it, has to go back out. And now both teams just gathered up by turn number 2. This time a successful jump by the Postman gets through for 4, and that is going to be called off. 16-12 jam, but this time the advantage goes to the Killer Bees. Now we have Slamby of the Killer Bees as a jammer going up against Giblets of the Cherry Bombs. So 2 new jammers for both these teams. We start off. Nice quick moves by Slamby on the outside. Cherry Bombs have to gather together to try to stop that momentum. They do momentarily. Giblets, a lot of strength trying to get through a very tough tripod, though. Meanwhile, Slamby goes to the outside and is knocked out. Cycle back on the track is Slamby. The pivot, let's see, that is Firecracker with a nice hit to bring back Slamby. Meanwhile, Giblets is through the pack. Now both jammers looking to put up some points. And it is Giblets through. 4 points for the Cherry Bombs. Meanwhile, Slamby's having a tough time around turn number 2, looking for some offensive help. Giblets on another scoring run. Now a whole lot of bodies up at turn number 2. Slamby being held back by Firecracker. Giblets knocked out. A great save. Looks like number 22 of the Killer Bees. That was bad attitude. The good hit against Giblets. Slamby was out, and they're going to call that one off. So, very exciting, hard-hitting 8-4 jam. Cherry Bombs guns coming up on that one. Right now, our score is 245 to 142. Killer Bees up ahead. Avalanche going up against Fatal Air. To the inside goes Fatal Air. Nice help by Ferdinand for a good block. But Avalanche is through the pack. Hit by Fatal Airs. Action stops here, right up at the jam line. No score. Right now it is Fatal Air as the lead jammer. Avalanche sneaks on through, but a big hit by Ferdinand stops that. Nice move, though, by Avalanche. Didn't quite pay off, but Fatal Air is through. That is direction call against Ferdinand. Now we'll send them into the box. Fatal Air on through for 4 more points. Avalanche going up against Ruby Roundhouse and does get through. Fatal Air on a run, though. Right now, 12 points put up by the Killer Bees. Avalanche one to beat and does. A lot of penalty trouble for the Bees, though. Only one defender out there. That is number 13, Fallon Mellon. They're going to get some help now as Ferdinand comes back out. Tried to stop Avalanche. Avalanche barrels through 4 points. But Fatal Air on a run of their own. 20 points now put up by Fatal Air. Avalanche, though, with a respectable 12. That is finally called off. Chaos once again back out as the Killer Bee Jammer. Had a really good showing last time as a jammer. They'll be going up against Braceface. All right, jam is on. Chaos recycled back. Barbecue doing a good job along the Giblets to try to hold them back. No pass, no penalty called as so lead is still open as Chaos is through. Crushing that inside line is Chaos, and now they once again, a no pass, no penalty, it looks like. Chaos brought to the outside by the tripod of the cherry bombs. And it is brace face through. Chaos has been given lead jammer though. No, rather it's a no pass, no penalty, so lead is still open. So a whole lot of action happening in here. The lead's still open. Brace face 2 to beat. And finally does. For 4 points. It looks like no one has been given that lead jammer position, so this probably will just go to the end of our jam period. 20 seconds left. Chaos pushing through. Skates on out though. It's coming back around. That ends the jam, so yeah, a lot happening there on that one. A lot of no pass, no penalties lead to a little bit of confusion. Team time out called by the Killer Bees here as the officials make sure our scoreboard and everything is as it should be. This being tournament play, we want everything accurate. All these hard-earned points being put up by these teams, want them to be shown. Still have some time left in this timeout, 20 seconds, but both teams are definitely ready to go here and keep this thing going. They have 13 minutes and 40 seconds left in the game. Rumble Guppy being your jammer for the Killer Bees. Has taken the jam star a few times as a pivot. Has been showing really good. Rolling whistle. We are going to be underway. Team Wolf for the Cherry Bombs. 2 strong jammers out there right now for these teams. Rumble Guppy through for lead. Teen Wolf, though, with a lot of speed, blows by the Killer Bee line right behind. But Guppy, with a lot of speed of their own, crushes into that tripod, trying to break their way through. Teen Wolf, with a nice stop by the pivot of the Killer Bees. That was Graycon. Rumble Guppy through for 4. Teen Wolf trying to get by and does the last few. But Guppy is through for 4 more as well and decides to call that one off. So Slimy Booger is going to be the jammer for the Killer Bees this time, going up against Avalanche. Slimy Booger out for lead. Avalanche, though, 1 more to beat. And no, it is they are going to be brought back. And it looks like a penalty also against Avalanche. So now this is a big power jam opportunity for the Killer Bees. Slimy Booger can put up some points here. Swings to the outside, gets some offensive help. One more to beat, slides through and does. 4 more points. 8 points put up so far. Oh, stays on their feet after taking a hard hit. Slimy Booger, 12 points. Avalanche back out on the track. Makes it through the pack. Booger makes it through again, though, for 4 more points. And we'll call that one off after a 16-0 run, extending that lead of the Killer Bees, 301 to 165. Team timeout is going to be called out by the Cherry Bomb, so I'll give them 1 minute to talk things out. I thank our sponsors, the Pie Pizzeria, been voted Utah's best pizza, providing top quality handmade pizza, salad, subs, and more for over 40 years. Thank you, the Pie Pizzeria, longtime sponsor of the Wasatch Junior Roller Derby. Also, 187 Killer Pads, another sponsor of ours, as well as the Derby Warehouse. And also a special thank you to Dick's Sporting Goods, who recently gave a $13,000 donation to Wasatch Junior Roller Derby. Thank you, Dick's Sporting Goods. All right, the team timeout is just about finished. Just Kevin out there with the star for the Killer Bees up against Teen Wolf. Just Kevin started. Teen Wolf, quick feed right out at the whistle. Has to adjust to toe stop on the fly. Just Kevin, though, with a forearm. That's now a power jam opportunity for the Cherry Bombs. Teen Wolf can put up some points, so let's see what they do on a power jam. Slamby go into the penalty box for the Killer Bees. Whole lot of bodies slammed up around turn number 2. Trying to find a hole. Teen Wolf can't though. It looks it's like some issue with the skate and calls that one off, but it'll still be a power start opportunity for the Cherry Bombs. 10 minutes left in our game. Keep in mind, this is only the second game of a 2-day tournament. So Bunny Rabbit. Bunny Rabbit is the jammer. The jam is underway. Good one-on-one blocking by Bad Dadditude. It is just Kevin coming out of there and takes lead out of the penalty box. Track cut on Bunny Rabbit. So now that power jam will go to Just Kevin. However, Just Kevin also sent to the box. So we will be having the Bunny Rabbit coming out. And after a short rest, Just Kevin should be coming out as well, I believe. Should only be serving the same amount of time, but it looks like there is a maybe perhaps a different penalty being called on there, so that extends their time on the bench. So Bunny Rabbit with a power jam opportunity makes good use of it for 4 points. Coming around for another scoring pass. Just Kevin comes out of the penalty box. Slides through on the inside. Is all the way through for 4. Bunny Rabbit, though, makes it through for 4 as well. There is no lead jammer. 25 seconds left in the jam clock. Just Kevin through the pack. Bunny Rabbit approaching the pack. Hard hit by Ferdinand. Looks like, I don't know if that was a directional or a high block being called on Ferdinand, sending him to the box. Apex jump landed by Kevin, 3 for 4. Bunny Rabbit also got 4 points on that one before that was called off, made all 4 points. So it looks like we were ending with a 12-12 jam on that one. So that was a lot happening there. The team starting off with the power starts and power jams throughout. And we are going to have an official review being called as the Killer Bees will be, or no, we have an official timeout right now. So perhaps they will talk things out and see what the outcome of this gathering of zebras will bring us. All right, so there will be an official review being called now for the Killer Bees. So time stops here, 7 minutes and 19 seconds left to play. We'll see what issue the Bees bring forward to the ref crew. I have some announcements here for our local fans. Importantly, help us find a new home. We are losing the Derby Depot, so we need a new space to continue our playing roller derby here in Salt Lake City. So if you have any leads on a space that would meet our needs, please contact our local league board. However, while we have the depot, and especially this month, we have a lot of games going on. In addition to this tournament, which will be going on tomorrow as well, Wasatch Roller Derby has a home game, Love Hurts. That is Saturday, February 7th. Uinta Roller Derby has a home tournament, February 20th through the 22nd. And Wasatch Junior Roller Derby and Wasatch Roller Derby are having a doubleheader fundraiser to assist with one of our players' medical bills from a torn ACL. That'll be Saturday, February 28th. Whole lot of roller derby going on this month here. So the Killer Bees have brought forth their complaint or their review, which they would like to see go in their favor. Now the officials are discussing it all. We will give you that information as we get it. Our next game is slotted to begin at 1:30 this afternoon. That is going to be the Renegades going up against the Derby Devils. So again, that is at 1:30 later today. Renegades against the Derby Devils. All right, so the Killer Bees were looking for a penalty against one of their players to be rescinded. However, it will not be rescinded, and they will lose their official review. So they'll still have one team timeout to go in this game. So the Cherry Bombs still have a team timeout and an official review to use. Fatal Air up against Avalanche. Fatal Air can move really well and shove hard, but it is a neck and neck. The Fatal Air has been given the lead jammer position. Avalanche on through for 4. Fatal Air right behind. No, it is Avalanche. Avalanche is our lead jammer. Must have just gotten by first. Right at the beginning there. Very close one. But now it is Fatal Air out of the pack for 4 points. Avalanche also through for 4, just as Fatal Air does an apex jump. Puts 8 on the board for the Bees, or 12 on the board for the Bees. 8 points for the Cherry Bombs. Now a whole lot of pushing going on right past the turn number 2. Avalanche pushed out as Fatal Air makes its way through. 6 minutes left in our game. Avalanche calls that one off. 16 points put up by Fatal Air, 8 points put up by Avalanche. Slimy Booger, the jammer for the Killer Bees, going up against Braceface. All right, we are off. Whole lot of juking going on by both jammers. Slimy Booger, though, with a sprint, one to beat, and does. Lead position going to Slimy Booger. Swings to the outside to Slimy Booger on through the pack, 4 points. Braceface still trying to get through for get past their initial. Slimy Booger to the outside once again. Finds daylight, 4 more points. Braceface was signed back by Rumble Guppy. 4 more points, Slimy Booger, but it is Braceface squeaking through, getting out of the pack, forcing a call off. The 12 points put up by Slimy Booger. The Postman, number 34 in white, will be your jammer, going up against familiar number 12, Teen Wolf. Nice, both jammers getting out. However, I believe it was Teen Wolf. Yes, Teen Wolf as the lead jammer. Teen Wolf gets out of the pack first for 4. Right behind there is the Postman, though. 4 and 4. Teen Wolf to the outside, to the inside is Postman. Both get through. 8 and 8. Postman slides out of bounds, recycled back. Meanwhile, Teen Wolf trying to get their way through past Night Terror, past Graycon, and does. 12 points for Teen Wolf. Postman is set to the penalty box, though, so big power jam opportunity for the Cherry Bombs. Teen Wolf can put up the points. And does. 16 points. Two and a half minutes left in the game. Teen Wolf looking for a screen. Gets it. One more to beat. Raycon right there. It's trying to stop him. Hard to take him out, though. Still on their feet is Teen Wolf as the postman comes back out on the track. Is brought down by Bunny Rabbit. Bunny Rabbit is just getting in the postman's way all the way through there, but he does find a way through. Just as that jam ends, over 22 points put up by Teen Wolf to the 12 of the Killer Bees. Maybe just 1 to 2 jams left in this game. Fatal Air up against Barbecue. Penalty box is clear. Fatal Air finds a hole, gets through, takes the lead. Clock is controlled by the Killer Bees. 1 minute, 14 seconds left in the period. Four points by the Bees. Barbecue still trying to get on through. 2 blockers to beat. And does. Through the pack. 4 more points for Fatal Air. Calls that one off, so there will be time for one more jam. The Cherry Bombs stop that clock with their last team timeout. 38 seconds left in our game. This will likely be our last jam of the game as the Killer Bee pivot. We've got his Rumble Guppy showing off some dance moves there. All right, so the clock will be reset to 42 seconds. Slimy Booger is going to be the jammer for potentially this last jam for the Killer Bees. Let's see what the Cherry Bombs bring out. It is Avalanche. All right, game will be back on shortly. 5 seconds. All right, Booger to the inside, Avalanche to the outside. Avalanche on through. Slimy Booger, though, now out of the pack. To the outside is Avalanche. They are knocked out of bounds. They call that one off. It's like an official review is going to be called. That'll stop the clock here. 14 seconds shown on the clock. So it might have been the last jam. Looks like we will, in fact, have one more. All right, clock readjusted to 21 seconds. So an official review called, however, there's no gathering of captains and coaches and officials, so perhaps they just use that to stop the clock. Yeah, so game is going to be back on. Teen Wolf against the Postman. 21 seconds left in the game. Postman to the inside. Teen Wolf to the outside, and it is Teen Wolf with lead. Now the Postman is through. Teen Wolf on the scoring run. Trying to get some points on the board. Postman, apex jump. Falls, hits hard. Knock the wind out of themselves. Teen Wolf 4 points. Postman through the pack. Teen Wolf, 4 more points. Period clock is ended. 1:15 on the jam clock. Both teams fighting for those last few points before the game is ended. Teen Wolf for 4 more, just as 12 points for Teen Wolf, 8 points for the Postman. Both jammers approaching the pack. Teen Wolf caught up at turn number 3. Postman trying to find a way through. Good one-on-one blocking by Barbecue. 30 points left in, or 30 seconds left in the game. Teen Wolf finds it for 4 more. And see, right now our unofficial score, 369 to 235. A high scoring game here. So on that last jam, 18 points put up by the Cherry Bombs, the 8 put up by the Killer Bees. So huge points scored by both teams, but right now it does look like the final score is going to be the 369 put up by the Killer Bees over the Cherry Bombs 235. So it looks like there is still a game going on here. 19 seconds will be put up on the clock. So this one is not over yet. Fatal Air going up against Teen Wolf. So perhaps of the last 3 final jams of this game, this one might be the final jam. So definitely things are just never over until you hear that rolling whistle that ends the game. Despite how hard this game's been going on, both these teams just ready for this last jam. Fatal Air is through. Teen Wolf right behind though. Clock is out. That jam is called off. 2 more points being scored by the Killer Bees. So that is 375 to 239, showing right now as our unofficial score. And we want to make sure that's what it ends up as. But both these teams, man, it has been a long time since I've seen a score that high. So that was a heck of a game played by both these teams. The rolling whistle ends that one. So please come out and congratulate these two teams for putting on a show. I mean, that is an impressive score. 375 to 239. That is a lot of work being put forth by both these teams. All right, and so once again, in about an hour and 15 minutes, we will be back for game number 3 of our Great Salt Quake tournament. That is going to be the Renegades going up against the Derby Devils. Renegades have already played one earlier this morning. This will be the Derby Devils' first game of this tournament. So come back and we will see you at 1:30. So again, give a big round of applause for both these two teams here, the Killer Bees and the Cherry Bombs. So the Killer Bees coming out on top.